You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
And we've got back day. This is Ed, and I'm going to show you what I usually do for back. These aren't necessarily recommended exercises, just more of suggestions on how I like to train my back. About 10 years ago, I had a herniated disc, so I'm usually pretty careful with stuff. Okay, looking at the planes of motion here, we can see that when your elbows are coming up, you're going to be working your traps, right? And a little bit of delts there. Midline, you've got the midline traps plus rear delts plus rhomboids. And then when you're pulling your elbows down, you know, everything's coming in, but mostly it's going to be those lats and the tie-in for those lats. So once you figure out those planes of motion, you can go on to the stretching part. Now, already I've warmed up for this, but this is how I stretch. You can see I hook one arm against a bench or something, and I'm pushing with the other arm, really extending that lat. I can even put two arms forward and push it down, lifting my head up, and that helps to stretch out the lats and the connections into the shoulders. The first exercise I've got here is a wide grip pull-up. You can see I've kind of jury-rigged the handles here to suit my needs. I'm using an assisted chin machine because I'm a wimp, but I'm okay with that. Alright, so what I'm doing is making sure that I've got a good stretch and then a good contraction. With this being wide grip, my elbows are almost driving into the base of the lat, the insertion of lat. I can really feel like I'm spreading a fan as I go down and then contracting that fan as I come up. Those old kind of oriental fans, right? That fan out in a spread there. So as I stretch out, big rest at the bottom, a stretch, and then I pull right back up. From a different angle here, you can see I'm going to make sure I get a contraction at the top end and that stretch, the wide stretch of the lats and the rhomboid there. Okay, moving on, I'm going to the close grip pull-ups. Very similar, I'm going to have a big stretch at the bottom and then a tight contraction up top. With that stretch in the bottom, I almost pitch myself a little bit forward there. Pushing my torso forward helps me really stretch out both the shoulders and the insertion points for those lats. Going up, I give a nice contraction at the top end, really trying to squeeze, and you can see some of the detail coming out in that upper back. You can see how the lats are really stretching out as I go towards the bottom there, and really working as I get up top there, driving my shoulders up into the top end there. And again, this is on the assisted chin machine because I'm still a wimp. Here's just a different angle of it. So you can really see the detail working out up top there. If you ever want to, you just slow it down. Make sure you get that big stretch, pitch forward, and the contraction up top. You can see I've got an arc in my chest, but not too much. I'm not pitching too far back there. Okay, this is a new exercise for me. It's called a croc row. You can see I run through how it should feel without the weight, making sure that I like the vibe of it. I've got a 3-point kind of tripod stance here. I extend nice at the bottom, lock out, and then contract at the top. This is really kind of for the upper back. A little bit of traps, but mostly in the rhomboid and upper lat insertion. Nice lockout and big contraction. You can really go heavy with this. I'm not going very heavy today. Don't need to. Don't want to. Just trying to do it right. This is a more traditional one-arm cable row. You can do them with dumbbells, obviously, but I like the cable because I like the contraction at the top end. So I give a big squeeze, stretch out, squeeze. And you'll notice on my stretch, I give a slight rotation on my shoulder, just feel it better in the lats. Then I bring it back and I'm pinching it in there. Bring it back to the base of the lat, my elbow doesn't go past it. It drops into the base and then stretches out, back to the base, contraction, and that's it. And here I've got alternating pull downs. These are one-arm pull downs, obviously, right? Very much like a chin or a cable pull down, but with the one arm you get a lot of focus here. So you can see I'm driving into the base of the lat there. I get a big stretch and drive. a stretch, and a drive. Trying to bring my elbow right to where my lat inserts close to my waist and holding it there and contracting. You can really feel this pinching almost, not in a bad way, but a really tight way that most lat exercises don't give you. So if you're doing these right, you're going to feel it's all back. And this is, in my opinion, one of the best finishing exercises I can do. Okay, here we've got lower back extensions. I'm not doing these very well. I did quads 2 days before, and this was just killing me on my legs. Not feeling good. So I should be stretching more at that bottom end. Shouldn't be rounding out as much as I am. But at least I'm showing you the top contraction point. You can see even at the end I'm contracting up top. I'm really squeezing that up top, almost into where I'm going to hit a pose or something like that. I bring it up and contract. Speaking of posing, every workout is finished up with flex time. It's time to flex, time to make sure I'm able to control those muscles. I've always said if you can't control them with no weight, you cannot control them when they're under duress, when you're lifting weights. So be sure flexing is not about vanity. It's about checking, making sure you worked what you were supposed to do, and making sure you can control those muscles as much as you can. Back is not my strong point, obviously, but I'm trying. I'm working on it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this back workout today, and let's see what comes next. This is Ed with Seoul Lifts out of Seoul, Korea.